In the headlines, NDLEA arrests cleric with drugs at Lagos Airport. Attorney General recants on complexity of Abba Kyari money laundering allegation. 2 abducted children in Lagos found taken to hospital for treatment. And China imposes new curbs amid worst COVID outbreak in 2 years. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello, thank you for joining us. Now, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested the General Overseer of the Christ Living Hope Church, Reverend Ugochukwu Ekwem, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport for drug peddling. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi confirmed this in a statement. According to the statement, the agency's operatives arrested the cleric while on his way to a 3-week crusade in Nairobi, Kenya, with 54 sticks of drugs wrapped around his body. The popular preacher has his church headquartered in Iswanyocha, Mbakwa Road, Oka North Local Government Area, Anambra State, and 2 other branches in Lagos and Abuja. Similarly, the operatives arrested another passenger, Nakiai King, who arrived at the airport on the Ethiopian Airlines flight from Sao Paulo, Brazil, via Addis Ababa, with 40 parcels of cocaine concealed inside bottles of body cream with a gross weight of 90.70 kilograms. In another development, the gents intercepted another passenger on Ethiopian Airlines flight to Italy, Edu Blessing, with over 2,000 tablets of tramadol weighing 225 milligrams and flunitrazepam. The operatives also arrested a freight agent, Rafiu Abbas, at the narco export shed of the airport when he presented a cargo containing 19.15 kilograms of cannabis going to London, concealed inside plastic containers labeled as African dishes and packed in a bag, among others. Katsina State Police Command has paraded the remains of 4 bandits killed by operatives when they fought an attack, raided and burnt down 3 of their camps in Katsina State. The spokesman, Katsina Police Command SP Gambo Isa, stated this on Saturday while addressing newsmen at the State Force headquarters. Abdullahi Yamadi files in the report.
Credible intelligence was received that terrorists in their numbers on motorbikes, shooting sporadically with AK-47 rifles, attack Emama Village, Molumfash local government area, and roasted unspecified number of cows.
The hoodlums were blocked at Kukashika village of Molumfash local government area by the police, engaged them in a gun duel, neutralized the 3 terrorists on the spot. Similarly, the police neutralized another suspected terrorist at Entumaki Forest when they were returning from their nefarious operation at Tugugari village of Matazu local government area of Katsina State. The rest of the suspected terrorists abandoned the domestic animals they rustled from the village and escaped with gunshot wounds. In the same vein, armed robbers numbering about 10 invaded the residence of one Isuhuna Gobna of Tashar Dankao village of Dutse local government. The police rescued the victim and arrested Haliru Idris, Suleiman Yusuf and Jibrin Abdullahi in the process. I, Sule and Jibrin, as well as 9 others now at large, attempted to rob our victim, but our attempt failed. We formed a robbery syndicate, but look at how we ended. The police have also burnt down 2 notorious terrorist camps at Yellawa, Tasharbiri in Damusa local government and notorious Iraqis bandits camp in Safana local government.
And a hideout of a notorious terrorists na Iraqi at Safana local government area of the state, destroyed their camps, recovered 2 operational motorcycles belonging to the terrorists, 131 roasted cows and 55 sheep.
The Katsina State Police Command has also succeeded in arresting one Jamilu Saidu, who specialized in calling people through their GSM phones, threatening them to pay ransom or risk being kidnapped. When he threatened one Abdusalam Hassan of Sabangaren Dambajida in Binda local government, where he asked him to pay 200,000 naira ransom or risk being kidnapped. The suspect was traced and arrested while investigation into the case is ongoing. The command assured that the suspect will be charged to court for prosecution as soon as investigation is completed, and appeals to public to continue providing credible information that will assist securities in bringing the dastardly attacks on people by terrorists and other criminal elements to an end. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
In other news, social media influencers have been advised to be fair, balanced and responsible in their publications to minimize the spread of fake news. The Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Major General Marcus Kainge, made the call while addressing participants at the 18th edition of the Social Media Influencers Seminar in Oka, Anambra State. The theme for the seminar is the Nigerian Army's non-kinetic line of operation, critical roles of social media. Major General Kainge made the essence of the program was to create an avenue for discourse to bridge the gap between the military and the citizens.
It is very obvious that what you say, the way you say it, and how it spreads, have far-reaching implications than most of us think. Because the social media has a very crucial role to play in support of the Nigerian Army's non-kinetic lines of operation, as well as shaping public opinion.
It is a more robust relationship between the Nigerian Army and, of course, those social media influencers, and by extension the Nigerian society, because they are doing an incredible job that need to be applauded, supported and encouraged. Because the bottom line here is that these are a group of people that are sacrificing their comfort and sometimes even their most precious thing, their lives, for the benefit of the Nigerian society, so that people will live better.
Negative news works on people's psyche. Even some people get depressed with so much negativity or negative news around them. It is one thing to say a news is negative, is another thing to say it's not factual. So is this issue of factual or fake news we'll have to work on. And then also being conflict sensitive. There's something that is called conflict sensitive reports. You report a story in such a way that it does not affect people that are watching it.
Center for Environmental Sustainability and Development Awareness has commenced a sensitization campaign to create awareness on the dangers of open defecation in the Federal Capital Territory. Open defecation has been a recurring problem in most urban centers in Nigeria. Sagir Ibrahim has the details.
According to the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, the rate of open defecation in Nigeria has remained steady at 23%, and as many as 46 million Nigerians still defecate in the open. It is in light of this that the Center for Environmental Sustainability and Development Awareness (CESDA) is carrying out a public sensitization and awareness creation on the effect of open defecation and cholera on children below 5 years in markets and motor parks within the Federal Capital Territory.
The whole essence of why we are here today is to ensure that we keep a very clean environment. It's on the wake of this that we actually, feel that we need to come around, to Itaku Market, having identified Itaku Market as one of the largest markets in Abuja, given the population and given the reports that we commissioned earlier, sometimes in 2020, that actually named Itaku Market as one of the places that are prone to open defecation. Mr. Olushola explained that the center intends to continue with the exercise in other parts of the territory to create awareness on proper sanitation and hygiene. We want to encourage people to make good use of the toilet. And that's why, we are here today. One, to ensure that we clean up the market, which we have done in the morning. Then secondly, to make sure that we sensitize people. This continues. It's not limited to Itaku market. We have equally mapped out some other markets in Abuja, as well as motor parks in Abuja. Arising from here, next week we are going to be going, to life camp, garden, and parks. So where is equally prone, to open defecation.
Some members of the market executive also lent their voices to the campaign.
Cleaning of environment is very, very important for every human being. As far as you are healthy, you need to protect yourself. That protection of yourself, it is even better than any medicine or having any cure.
The issue of cleanliness is very, 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 very important, especially with the women. In our environment, in our houses, need to be kept clean at all times. We need to take care of ourselves, proper hygiene. In anything we do, our environment, to make sure everywhere is well cleaned.
We are grateful to have people who are thinking about our good well-being in respect of keeping our environment clean and sensitizing our traders on the habit of cleanness.
The high point of the exercise was the distribution of flyers and infographic materials, as well as the distribution of aprons to traders in the market. Sagir Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
There you go. Now, National Agency for the Great Green Wall in Jigawa State has raised concerns about threats to the security and safety of its facilities in some communities in Jigawa State. Umar Garba, field officer of the agency, while on assessment of field investments in the state, decried vandalism and sometimes theft of facilities provided by the agency. The 3 local government areas visited during the field assessment in the state are Birniwa, Makoda, and Kirkisamawa. Nigeria, one of the pioneer countries of the Great Green Wall Initiative, is facing challenges of land degradation, desertification, and climate change, among others, in 11 frontline states. Garba said vandalism of facilities is negatively affecting the efforts of the agency, increasing the environmental challenges and ultimately causing delay in the delivery of the project.
Most of these community people are predominantly cattle rearing people. As a result, we're having issues of vandalization of facilities, sometimes by the animals and sometimes by some unknown people. That is the reason why the employment of forest guards was prompted. And so far, I think we have about 80-something to 90% coverage of our facilities equipped with forest guards. So most of the challenges, we had them at the beginning. Sometimes when we bring project down to the people, like this orchard we're in, it's been voluntary contributed by the people of the community. It's their farmland. If you look at the shape of the plantation, it's not squared, it's zigzag somehow. The reason is because some of them accepted it while some reject. So they've been bypassed based on the acceptance or rejection. That was what made the shape to be this way. We have other ones that is completely embraced. The water facility here is a tube well. As you can see, these are the solar panels that powers it. It's working perfectly well, but the little challenge is maybe when sometimes the sun is not as bright as it's supposed to be or hot, it affects the pumping of the water. When the climate is good, it works perfectly. The advice I have for the community is to ensure the sustainability of everything that has been planted here. That's for them to take care of it. It will make a great impact on them as a part of their livelihood. It will create shades.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, says the legal advice by his office recommended further investigation of suspended DCP Abba Kyari and not exonerating Kyari. The AGF, in a statement issued by his media aide Umar Gwandu on Sunday, said following a recent television interview where the AGF admitted there were prima facie evidence against Kyari, adding that extradition moves are ongoing in the matter. Media reports about a contradiction in his stance on the matter show a misunderstanding and misconception of the issue. Earlier reports say the Office of the AGF, in a legal advice written on behalf of the AGF by the Director of Public Prosecutions of the Ministry, Muhammad Abubakar, stated that the evidence contained in the case diary had no link between DCP Abba Kyari and fraudster Ramon Abbas, also known as Hush Puppy, and the $1.1 million internet scam. Two 4-year-old boys, Wasiu Dauda and Al-Amin Ibrahim, abducted in the Jesha area of Lagos, have been found alive in an abandoned minibus along Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. Dauda's mother, Awu, who confirmed this, said the children are currently receiving treatment at a hospital. The little boys were discovered missing around 4 p.m. on Friday, 2 hours after they returned from school, while a man is suspected to have lured them into a tricycle with biscuits while they were playing around the vicinity and whisked them away. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up. Making fortune from scrap scavenging. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update. Here are our top stories. NDLEA has arrested the General Overseer of Christ Living Hope Church, Reverend Ugochukwu Ekwem, at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport for drug peddling. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, says the legal advice by his office recommended further investigation of suspended DCP Abba Kyari and not exonerating Kyari. Still ahead, Nigeria Center for Disease Control has confirmed 8 new cases of coronavirus in the country. The agency, in its latest update for Sunday, March 12th, said the cases were reported from 2 states. For the 22nd consecutive day, no new death as a result of COVID-19 complications has been reported in Nigeria, while the COVID-19 death toll in the country remains unchanged at 3,142. Meanwhile, 5 persons were discharged on Saturday after recovering from the virus, raising the country's total number of recoveries to over 200,000, with a total of over 200 cases confirmed across the country. Elsewhere, fortune smiles on Yazid Surajo, a graduate who scavenges in Lagos for a living. Surajo's scraps business is now growing, enabling him to employ others to help realize his ambition. The report.
I give you the money for it. Let me just pretend as if I give you some.
Yazid Suraju is a native of Karofi in the Sima local government area of Katsina State. Though a university graduate with a master's degree, he chooses scavenging scraps when he could not get a job after the National Youth Service in 2016. When Daily Trust published his interview in April 2021, one organization assisted him with a place in Lagos to expand his scavenging business.
I had met, some correspondents from different newspapers, especially Daily Trust. It is through the interview that we did with them. I am opportune to meet some people. That is one platform on social media called Hausa Room on Instagram. So those people, they just watch the video that we did, that interview. They just put interest in seeing that they lay their helping hands in seeing that they help me to have my own place, have my own voice, so that I can at least employ some people to reduce the level of unemployment in our country.
Sarajo speaks on prospects and challenges the business faces.
If I am opportune and also my capital reach the status that I will employ more than even that and people that we promise with them. But now I don't have the capacity or ability to employ those 10 people because of the little resources that I am managing that they gave me.
An interesting story there. Still ahead, excessive exploitation of natural resources distorts the ecosystem and destroys biodiversity. Indiscriminate cutting down of trees is a major cause of environmental degradation that hampers conservation of natural habitats in Katsina State. Abdullahi Yamadi examines the implication of rampant cutting down of trees in the state as it affects the environment and how it exposes people to dangers. The report.
From Jibia, Keita, Mai Adua, Daura, Zango and other local government areas of Katsina State bordering Niger Republic, one can easily see the manifestation of environmental degradation ranging from the soil erosion, desertification and harsh weather condition. This is in addition to the low level of underground water table and serious decline in the agricultural output, which expose many of the local communities to extreme poverty and untold hardship. Most of those engaged in the bad practice of cutting down of trees are doing so for economic gains to complement their means of livelihood, regardless of the consequences their action may have on them and the generations yet unborn. I don't have any job to do. I cut down trees for sale as a last resort. Sometimes I get 5,000, 10,000, up to 15,000. It all depends on the situation. A decade ago, this community used hands in digging wells, and a few meters down, they get enough underground water. But now, they must use a water drilling machine. Even at that, they have to drill about 120 meters down before getting the water table. A farmland that can give a yield of 50 bags of grains a decade ago can only give 7 to 15 bags now. There is a serious decline. If that is one of the major consequences of cutting down of trees, it means we're in trouble. Most of the vegetation covers here have been destroyed. Farmlands have been devastated, exposing the entire environment to so many hazards. Similarly, experts say population expulsion, high cost of cooking gas as well as kerosene have forced many to resort to the bad practice of cutting down of trees for firewood. This prompted the need for the federal and state governments to provide an alternative means of energy such as cooking gas and kerosene at an accessible and affordable price to Nigerians if the much talked about campaign to mitigate climate change and other environmental hazards are taken with seriousness. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Also from Katsina State, Governor Aminu Masari wants APC members in the state to unite and forgive one another. He made the call during a stakeholders meeting of All Progressive Congress at Muhammad Buhari House in Katsina. Governor Masari said he does not impose candidates and believes politics is about people's freedom to choose their leaders. Jamilu Mabai reports from Katsina.
The All Progressive Congress APC in Katsina State has concluded arrangement for the upcoming local government election in the state. This was disclosed during stakeholders meeting at the Muhammadu Buhari House. Governor Aminu Bello Masari, who commended party leaders at all levels for the role they played during the local government primary elections. As a leader, the governor personally apologized to aggrieved members to forgive the party.
I want to draw your attention so as to apologize, seek understanding for those who were not happy with what happened. Subsequent events might favor any aggrieved member. In the name of God, I apologize to those who couldn't clinch the ticket, and may God reward them for their patience.
Governor Aminu Bello Masari equally stressed the importance of the upcoming election as one of the party's priority.
The upcoming local government election is where we build the foundation for those that will assist the party at polling units.
He appealed for cohesion and unity for the overall success of the party. In his opening remarks, the Katsina State APC chairman also called for unity among members now that the upcoming local government election is around the corner.
Once again, we appeal for your support, unity like you have done before as we approach the local government election in April.
The chairman said the official handing over of party flag to candidates for all the 34 local governments will take place on the 30th of March in Kankia local government. Jamilu Mabai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
Away from politics, China has placed about 17 million residents under lockdown as virus cases doubled nationwide to nearly 3,400 and anxiety mounts over the resilience of its zero-COVID approach in the face of the worst outbreak in 2 years. Residents in the southern tech hub of Shenzhen, home to about 13 million people, are to stay at home as authorities struggle to eradicate an Omicron flare linked to the neighboring virus-ravaged city of Hong Kong. A city government notice said the lockdown and a suspension of public transport will last until March 20th, adding that it would launch 3 rounds of mass testing. A nationwide surge in cases has seen authorities close schools in Shanghai, China's biggest city, and lock down northeastern cities as almost 18 provinces battle clusters of the Omicron and Delta variants. And that's it on News Updates. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. See you later.